Hello again. Thank you for coming back to watch some more chess. We're going to see if I can't give this fella a good game. It's been a bit of a struggle lately, so let's keep clawing our way out of it. I've had 3 draws in a row, and they have been hard fought. The Philidor, okay. Um, my response to the Philidor is the Scotch. So sometimes the games can end up a little drawish sometimes because of a pretty symmetrical structure. Although in this position, I've got he's got my D pawn and I've got his E pawn, so he's got a queenside majority, and I'm working with kingside majority. But there's lots of good attacking in the Scotch. C4 square is usually a really good square for the bishop. It gives him this kind of a fork trick in some positions where I take back and he forks the pieces. Um, Here I just want to castle. Okay. This move I don't like so much. I mean, it's designed to push in the center. He can take back with the pawn. Instead of, I mean, maybe it's to support his knight. I don't know. It's kind of giving up, like if he does push, giving up his queenside majority for a more symmetrical type of position, which is common in the Scotch. I want to continue development. I want to bring my bishop out. Then he's got this knight move that attacks it. How about bishop f4? There's no e-pawn threatening it. If he wants to maneuver his knight to the edge to attack it, then I've got this retreat here, and that's where I wanted it to begin with, kind of. I also have an idea of f4. You can push f4 immediately, try and storm the king side. He's got this queen development that would pin my knight. So that's pretty committal. I don't want to push this pawn just yet. Let's just develop the bishop. I like it along this diagonal. If he wants to trade pawns, that'll be all right by me. He could have done it anyway with the fork trick. Thing with the fork trick, sometimes I have this capture to win the pawn. So rook e8. That is a good placement for the rook. I'd like to challenge it. What's he going to do with his bishop and his knight? His queenside pieces are looking a little bit confused at the moment. He can bring this bishop out to attack the queen, but I've got a block. Yeah, let's just develop the rook. Not spend too much time. 10 to 11 minutes and 30 seconds. I need to do better time management. One of the main things I've learned from watching these videos is time management is an area of improvement for me. That or need to get better at my blitzing on end games. Watching a Gotham video last night. It was a very interesting video. I forget the title of it. Maybe I can find a link to put in the description when I post this. I hear them mention those types of things all the time, and I'll see if I can't figure that out. But the video was about the differences between intermediate and advanced players and getting over that hump of that I've been stuck in for quite some time. And it resonated with me. One of the things, I lost my train of thought now. One of the things he mentioned in the video was time management, and he suggested that you should never get down on time by more than 50% of your opponent's time. That was a good, like, general rule. I don't know what metric he used to suggest that, but it was a good, like, hard number to use as a guideline. The time differential shrinks, obviously as your opponent's time takes down, the amount of time quantitatively that you can be down shrinks exponentially as the clocks tick down. So I've started pushing kingside pawns a little bit here. So this is defended, but it's pinned. That was a bad arrow. It's pinned to the king. He's attacking this pawn. But my knight's defended. That seems like a poisoned pawn to me. If I go king h1 and he takes, I go rook b1, queen a3, rook b3, queen a5 is the only square. Then I can win the b pawn as well, and have a rook on the 7th, which looks very appealing. I think I'll do that. I'll just tuck my king away in the corner and break this pin. If he wants this pawn, it comes with a price of several tempo, and I'm going to win the pawn back. So more important to break the pin. This bishop is off this diagonal now, so I might have ideas of bringing the knight here f5, it can attack the dark square bishop and the d pawn. Looks like a very good attacking square for the knight. I wonder if he's entertaining this, calculating that. Okay. He doesn't take the pawn. So I will attack. I'll attack the bishop. If he pushes the pawn, I can take the bishop first with check. And then capture back in the center. Takes. I mean, the rook would capture back the knight, obviously. So takes. Oh, no, he's going to attack my bishop. So my bishop is hanging. If I take the pawn to defend it, he just takes the knight, removes the defense. I take and he takes, wins material. No bueno. I'm tempted to snag the bishop pair immediately. Allows him to lift his rook. But then I can move my bishop back. Threatening to win this pawn with the queen. Mm -hmm. I think I just want to win the bishop pair. And now I defend my bishop. If I come back here, do I come back here? This is defended now, so the pawn does hang. I would gain tempo, but I don't win my material back. You'd have to deal with this pawn first. The d pawn does hang. We go back this way. It's just a great diagonal for the bishop to be on. Keeping pressure on the f7 square. Allows this push, threatening this. But I could take and remove the defender. So this is the question right now. The d pawn is hanging. Okay, he defends the d pawn. Queen protects this rook, or it would be hanging, and I could take. He couldn't take back because the pawn would be pinned. I wonder if there is a way I can deflect the queen away. Queen has this retreat square. This square doesn't seem all that useful for my knight. Seems a little misplaced over there. So just bring another rook to the party. You might have this sack here, 2 pawns with a piece, and then the exchange. Maybe I get my queen off of that threat, that trick there. Just get it off of this file with the rook. And stop this threat as well. I don't know if it kind of feels like a threat. These are two really important pawns for my king's protection. And he gives up a bishop for it, but potentially a bishop and a knight for a rook and 2 pawns. Six minutes, 10 seconds. I am down under half. I have less than half of my opponent's time. Um, let's get off that. Get off that file. It does pin this pawn, but this pawn has adequate protection. His trick doesn't work anymore because my pawn is defended. And I can maybe think about storming kingside pawns after h3, go g4. Maybe. That seems pretty risky. Swing my rook back around. I don't think I want to do that. He does have this push now, and I've put my queen on another file with a rook. It's blocked at the moment by the knight. But it's not appealing long term. He breaks in the center. He's got rooks there already, attacking my queen. The timing has to be right though, because I have a battery and I could just snatch the rook potentially, or even 2 rooks for the queen. Always a valid consideration. Okay, time management. Time management is the order of the remainder of this game. Position looks equalish. White has more space. Okay. Maybe he wants to threaten my bishop. Maybe he's just creating lift for his king. I think either way, I bring a rook to the center. Got this idea of bringing the bishop back as well, hitting this pawn. Needs to consider this break here. This is okay. He stacks his rooks on the other file. I think the rooks might have been better placed against the queen. Okay. Got my idea over here now. It starts to look a little appealing. How about we prepare it and we think about it? I'm not worried about opening the E file anymore because there's no more potential against my queen. D1 is very well defended. Okay. Brings the bishop back. I'm a little bit curious about rook taking pawn. Takes rook, bishop takes knight. It's a pawn and a knight for a rook. I'm threatening to win the rook back and just be up a pawn. If he retreats the rook, I can win the other knight and tear up his kingside structure. But a miner and a pawn for the exchange with doubled F pawns. Is that enough compensation to give up a rook? Down to 4 minutes, 16 seconds. I'm gonna say not at the moment. Going to say not yet. It might be an okay idea. But what about moving the queen back? This, queen takes. The knight's protecting the bishop. Pawn is pinned, so it is not defending the bishop. I've got to make a decision, and I've got to go with it. Stacking rooks is another option over here. And I think I'm going to go with that. Because I feel like this is his idea now, breaking on D4, which he should have been doing all along. If he pushes now, though, he hangs his knight. Not sure if he would have hung his knight earlier or not, but that may have been why he didn't, and I may just have been oblivious to it. Okay. I'm down to 3 minutes, 16 seconds. My time management skills have not improved significantly. That's all right. It's all a package deal. Calculation is getting a little better. I haven't been practicing like I should be, but I've made significant improvements on calculation and evaluation over the last several months. Okay, he's attacking my... Oh, that blunders because the rook hangs. Oh, no, that hangs a fork. That hangs a fork. I've got to do something about that. I didn't think that through very quickly, and I was just talking about how great calculation was doing. Do I give up the queen for the two rooks? I get his queen back if he takes, or just get two rooks. I think I have to go down this road because time is of the essence. I'm going to give him my queen. He's going to come here with check. I'm going to check. And then I'm going to win his knight as well. So I think I'm to the good here because I got two rooks and a knight for the queen. So I would have liked to have been spent a little more time evaluating that, and I probably could have, honestly, but two rooks and a knight are definitely worth a queen. He is going to struggle mightily to make that queen work against these three pieces. So I panicked a little bit when I saw the fork, but just because the tactic is there doesn't mean that it works out to your advantage. Oh, he gave me a windmill. He just opened up this bishop, and I don't need to even worry about taking here because uh, he's forced back. I come here. I wish there was a way I could win more material, but get that knight a little closer to my king. Nice defensive piece. And maybe just defend my pawn. Pawns are equal. He's got this retreat at the moment. So yeah, I'm just going to defend my pawn. And this is a nightmare for black. The queen is a powerful piece, but it can never trade itself off for any of my material. As long as everything is protected, these three pieces will coordinate and work together where the queen is all wrapped up into one bundle. So protect your queen, but not at all costs, because now my pieces can do many, many things that a single queen can't do. And I'll just lift my rook here and attack the queen, and it can't never take. Ever, ever, ever. Okay, so the knight's pinned, but okay. So the knight is pinned. An idea of coming here just to drive the queen out. Stop this pawn push from winning my knight, because I really don't want to give up the knight for nothing. Two rooks versus a queen by themselves are still good in most situations. There are times where the queen can dance all over the board and work some magic, but the knight really solidifies my advantage here. It's 4 points of material. Okay. If I take his pawn, he takes mine. So I don't want to do that. I'm just going to stack my rooks and take his pawn. He comes over here to threaten. I just lift my pawn. He can go here to maintain the pressure, but I win his pawn. There's no real pressure to be maintained. He can go here. No, no, there's nothing he can do to stop me from winning this pawn. And that's the way this endgame is going to grind out. He's going to hope that I give up tactical shots, leave pieces hanging, but as long as I leave no pieces hanging, there's nothing the queen can do. I don't mind taking that because then I'm going to check and maybe pick up this pawn. The knight defends this rook, so that's an important. There are no checks that would jeopardize my position. This is completely lost for black. I would not be surprised to see a resignation soon. There's nothing he can do to take anything around my king. There's no checks. If he tries to pin my rook again, or my knight, that seems futile. So I'm just going to put my rooks on the 7th and snatch up the remaining pawns and drive his king out into the open. Even if I give up 2 rooks for the queen and pawn, I'm up at knight and 2 pawns at this point. So I can give up material to trade down, but he doesn't have that option. So yeah, I can do that happily. So watch his king run over here while I gobble up this pawn. Good game. Good game. Okay. I like positions of unbalanced material. I spent a lot of time practicing identifying the advantages and learning when to unbalance material. And it creates really nice attacking games. It's when positions are equal that I struggle. And when positions are, equal material, symmetrical, it's like he had a pretty good winning shot here at some point that I missed. This is all book. Bishop development was okay. Equal game. Okay. They didn't like the bishop coming off of this diagonal, which allows this knight to come in. Calls that a miss. Wonder if I should just storm in with my pawns immediately, or should I just advance with the knight immediately? Rather than lifting the queen, I think that's the best move. Yeah, that is the best move because it wins the pawn immediately. I'm going to take the bishop or the pawn immediately. So a lost opportunity there to win some material. I don't know why I settled on lifting the queen. I don't know that I thought that out very, very well. Calls that a miss as well. Should not have tucked the king away. Well, the knight's pinned, but it's also protected. A knight to the edge. Knight a4 attacking the queen. Everything here is guarded. You'd be forced back. But then my knight's on the edge of the board looking at a fork. That doesn't seem like a good move. So my options are develop the rook, break the pin, or attack the bishop. I'm leaning towards attacking the bishop, but that's an inaccuracy. What's the best move? Break the pin. Okay. Self-explanatory. Good move. A blunder. Retreating the bishop was a blunder. Is it because it allows this? Probably is. Because black has this option here. Yeah, so that's a miss, and black's best move would have been this. Threatening this. C5 is a blunder. Why does it cost what? What's the best move for black then? Taking. Oh yeah, okay. I did see this idea. I thought taking with the bishop first. But this is very forcing. And then I get checked. And I'm forced to give up the queen. Oh. I did not see that sequence. So room for improvement on the tactics. Okay. Whew. That was a miss because he has this killer blow here. Whew. Tactics when a clock is ticking is kind of rough. If this is a puzzle and I can sit here and stare at it for 15 minutes, I'll find it, but it's being able to recognize the position that like, go on, Kitty, go on. That's a miss. This a miss. What's my better move? Stacking the rook. No, I still need to guard against this threat here. That's a very real threat. Still. So maybe I break the pin. Click retry first. Try for white. Breaking the pin is best. All right. Black had a huge shot there, but I think the rest of the game pans out in white's favor. Okay, back to equal here because I did give up this, but I think I proved that worked out. for white. What is black must have? Okay. Exclam to take. I take. That was his error. Maybe he should have taken my rook first, and then, yeah. Yeah, the rook hangs, so he should have taken the rook first. Move order is extremely important. So we're back to equal here because if rook takes, I've got to do something about this fork. And all the materials equal. Equal pawns. Yep. I'm not in love with this bishop and knight over here. The knight's better than the bishop, but that bishop is a little worse off. But the computer calls it dead equal. Well, I appreciate y'all watching. Thank you very much for tuning in. I know that there are tons of people out there streaming chess and posting chess videos, and there's lots of masters and international masters, grandmasters. You have tons of options for chess content. But I'm offering the perspective of an improving adult player that's hovering in the advanced to expert range, and I'm just trying to get a little better. So hopefully y'all can improve on the journey with me and tune back in for some more chess.